Hey guys, well we're back today and we're going to continue working on a few more trees. The first one we're going to look at today is my Bougainvillea. And we'll look at a couple more also. I think we'll have time for. These trees aren't going to take too long because we're just going to basically be pruning them back, getting them ready for when they go out on the bench outside in about a month from now. They'll be getting some really good sun, and hopefully we'll be seeing some more heat soon also. So why don't we pull the tree out and get a closer look at it. Okay, so here's a Bougainvillea, and all we're going to be doing today is just taking this new growth away back. This new growth is just kind of poured on in about the last month or so. I kept it cool down here in the plant room just to kind of give the trees a little bit of a short dormancy, if you will, and a light dormancy, and then I brought them back out of it about a month ago. I brought the temperature up to 22 degrees Celsius down here. And things are really starting to come back better. And you can see here they've really grown out, and I've even got some flowers that are going to be starting on here. So the last couple of years I've allowed this sometimes, especially in the spring, to grow way out and eventually let it go into flower and grow quite long. Including last year, if you'll remember. I think it's in my last video actually of this tree here. Maybe it was midsummer or near the end of summer. I pruned this way back down to here, and I had growth on this that was about 4 feet long. So it got to be quite long. But in doing that, it seems as though I've lost a lot of my lower branching here too, so I'm not too sure if any of this is dormant or if this is actually these branches are all dead. I'm not too sure. I guess I'll find out in the future. So from here on in, I was enjoying growing it out and seeing all the nice flowers that it would produce. But for the next few years, I think I'm gonna be keeping it more tame, not allowing it to take off quite as much. I want to bring a lot of that growth back down into where I want my canopy. So what we're doing today is we're just going to simply take it back. I'm just going to take this right back to the first leaf actually. So way back. This one here, same thing. I'll take it right back to here. And this one also, actually, I'll take it away back to here. There we go. Now another thing I am going to do, when the tree gets healthier and I get some more growth out down here, we will be fixing a lot of the structure up here. But until then, yeah, I think we're gonna leave it going. Until then, we're just gonna let things come back. Hopefully we'll get some new growth down in here, and then we can look at doing some major pruning in our structure here. Okay. Other than that, it's not looking too bad. Okay, well, I'm just going to put it back up on the shelf and let it do some more growing. It certainly has to grow into that big pot that I've got it in. Oh well. Okay, let's look at the next one. Okay, just before we grab the next one, I want to give you guys an update on my lemon cypress cuttings. We're going to be taking these pots and getting rid of the soil that's in them and these dead cuttings. So only one made it, so that one ended up not making it. This one did not make it, so I haven't watered them for a while, just because they have been dead for a little while. But I wanted to leave them there so I can show you guys that unfortunately this year I didn't have that many that made it. And I have another one down here that didn't make it. That's right behind my other lemon cypress trees here. So it also didn't make it. My other lemon cypress trees, though, however, are doing very good. And we'll be working on those again fairly soon. Now the one cutting that did make it is doing extremely well. I mean, it's really taken off. Even back at Christmas time, I cut it back here, and you can see that it's really taken off even just since last Christmas. I didn't take that much off. Probably about 1.5 inches. But I mean, that's easily growing back. So this cutting has done really awesome. And there's another cutting that's in beside that that's also still doing pretty well. Anyway, so that's where we stand with the lemon cypress cuttings. So one good one, and that's it. But that's fine. I'm all right with that. I have enough of them. Okay, the next one we're going to look at here is my Kalanchoe. So we'll pull him out and have a look at him. Okay, you'll remember that we repotted it just last year and cut it back. And now we've put on a fair bit of growth. And today we're going to be cutting it away back again. I think, I'm not sure, we might have taken a hold in that pot now. I put that rock in there to support it, but yeah, it's taken a hold. Especially by the time we take some weight off the top here, I think it'll be fine without that rock. Yeah, it's holding quite well. Yeah, our trunk's really starting to thicken up on this one, so I'm quite happy with it so far. You'll remember that originally I had this in a round pot, and it was a double trunk. They were actually two separate trees that were kind of fused together at the base down by the roots, and the one died. So I pulled this one out of the circular pot and I put it in a smaller one in my last video. So today all we're going to do is come in and we're going to simply take things back. Just going to take this part off of here. It looks like it's dead. In here, I don't know if you can see this or not, but there's a new little wee leaf here. So we have some new growth that wants to come out there. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to take it all the way back. We'll take it all the way back to here. We'll play it safe and leave a little bit on there. I'd like to try and keep this side branch at least for now. Actually, we do have a little wee bit of growth that's coming out right here, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it right back to this outward facing growth that's just coming out here. So we're going to come just above it there. We'll see what that brings us. Okay, well, it doesn't leave us much to look at. It's much more sturdy now. But it'll start to grow back, and when it gets outside in a month, it should really start to take off then. Okay, we'll take a look and see what else needs pruning back. Well, when we come over to this other set of shelves, I think we're going to look at taking back the wax myrtles or bayberry trees. So the last time I took these back, I didn't do a video of it, but it was right around Christmas time. They got to be about as tall as they are now, and I cut them away back. You can see here where I cut them back, and I left them about 6 inches long or so, some at different heights. This one here out front looks like it's about 6 inches. And they've grown a good 6 inch, yeah, about a good 6 inches since that time, maybe about 7 inches actually. So we're going to cut these back again here. Okay, so we'll just come in here. I guess we can just start with the tallest one here. I actually prune these right back to zero growth on these little guys, and they came back no problem. They put forth some new growth. So we're just gonna, I think today we're just gonna come back to the first leaf on all of them. This one will leave a couple, and this one will bring it back to the first one. We'll leave a couple on that one. Here we actually got a couple little branches that come out on the bottom, so that's kind of good. I think we'll bring this back to here for now, just to the first leaf on the main trunk going up there. Just take the top off of this one. That's really thinning things out. There we go. One thing that's nice to see is we got some dividing happening now, starting to happen in the trunks. Now that I'm looking at this much closer with this new growth coming out here, this is good. I was wondering actually when we were going to get some more subdividing, but it looks like it's happening sooner than what I thought. This is why it's good to spend time with your trees, which I haven't done a lot of in the last couple months. That's how life goes, though. What do they say? Life gets in the way. Okay. Well, that's it for our wax myrtles. And we may even be looking at pruning these back again, and probably maybe even as soon as the beginning of the summer here, because these are really fast growers. Okay. Now we'll look and see what else needs pruning back. Well, I think next we're going to look at my climbing aloe here. So I don't know why, but I almost lost the end of it here. You can see the dead leaves there, all right here. But we're starting to come back at the top here. And I just got it in this little nursery pot for now. Okay, well, why don't we pull it out and then we'll have a closer look at it. Okay, so here's our climbing aloe. It was starting to die here, but it has come back. And we've had this growth down here for quite some time now. It's just slowly taken off a little bit better here. So I think today we will be taking it back to this newer growth lower on the trunk here. Yeah, the lower trunk is starting to look a lot better. A little bit more mature than it was about a year ago. We could have another trunk coming off of here. I'm not too sure. That's been very slow coming up. So we'll see what happens there. But I think for today, we're going to bring it back to here. And we'll continue growing at the top here and wherever else we're going to hopefully get some growth out of. I'll probably continue growing it in this little pot for another year or so. And then I may put it in a larger pot. Okay, that's it for our climbing aloe. Well, I think the next one we're going to look at is this little planting here. It doesn't need a lot of work, but we will clean it up a little bit. It's about 1.5 years old, actually. And it doesn't grow that fast. So let's take it down and have a look at it. Okay, so here we can get a better look at them. This here is a little stone crop. I took this from a larger plant. So like I say, this was a little pup, and I put it in here. It was about 1 year ago, 1.5 years ago, and it's grown very slow. I'm going to leave these dead leaves on here. If I start pulling them off, I'm afraid I might upset him. Now he's taken in a hold there pretty good. So that's good. I had to be very delicate with him up to about 1 year ago, obviously, until he got himself rooted in there. These ones are doing pretty good now. So these are Jade Cuttings, or where. This one here, this was a cutting that I had cut off my larger jade plant, and it was lying in the pot. So I took it out, and I thought, well, I'm just going to stick it in the soil, and we'll see what happens to it. Basically, I just lied it down, but stuck it in the soil a little bit, and we ended up getting some growth along the top here and near the bottom here. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And it's also been growing very slow. So we're just going to continue to do so. I'm not going to do much. I am going to take some dead leaves out of here, just because this is this really put some roots down and really took a good hold. So I'm not really too worried about doing a bit of work on this one here. It's not too fragile anymore, so that's good. So yeah, they started to grow and then really slowed down, and I'm just thinking it's because of the smaller container that they are in. I don't fertilize them a lot. I really watch the amount of fertilizer that they get. Also too, because I just don't want them to take right off. I try to maintain it so that they can sustain themselves, but not overly grow either. Yeah, it's kind of a neat little planting. I actually think that looks kind of neat there with those dead leaves on there. Just going to see how easy it is to... Yeah, I think I'll leave it go. I don't need to take them off that bad. And actually, in fact, I think it might even look better with them on there. It's got a very, very small little trunk on it. I think leaving these leaves on here kind of hides that a little bit, and that looks a little bit better. Looks a little scaly, or something like crackled bark or something like that from a distance. Anyways, that's just it. I wanted to also show you guys this little group planting. I was going to take this back here, just take at least 2 sets of leaves off at the top, but I think I'll leave it go just for now. When I get my third set up here, then I'll take it back. But I think for now we'll leave it. It looks pretty good. Okay, well, I think that's it for today. And we'll look at doing more tomorrow. Well, that's it for today, guys. Take care out there, and have a great day.